Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rosalie Elliott Show. We've been on this journey listening to Led Zeppelin, album 4 from 1971, and it has been a very fun journey. So now I am on my way to listen to the rest of the album. I skipped Stairway to Heaven just as a reminder because some of you asked in the comment section because I had already done a full reaction to that song. So make sure to go find it in my UK playlist. But we are working our way through the album. I have listened to Black Dog, Rock and Roll, The Battle of Evermore, Stairway to Heaven, and Misty Mountain Hop. And so I will say that as this album progresses, I'm fascinated by the variety that I'm hearing, the diversity. It is not just, the same. Every song sounds the same with small variations. There's a lot of diversity. And I'm very intrigued as how deep they're going, even with their lyrics, both with Battle of Evermore and Misty Mountain Hop. I saw these references to Tolkien's novels. I saw these references to The Hobbits and The Lord of the Rings. And that just being something I'm recently watching again was had recently watched, was very interesting to experience. The depth of songs like Stairway to Heaven, and you were so kind to compliment me on my thoughts and interpretations, but even reminded me that nobody really knows exactly what that song means and it's up for interpretation. So you have a lot of musical art when it comes to their composition, but you also have a lot of poetry with their lyrics. And I find that very interesting. The next song is called Four Sticks. So what is that about? Make sure to subscribe if you're new, if you haven't yet. And if you have and you're back for more, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss a thing. Are you ready? Here we go. Real quick, you guys. So I love the emphasis on the bongos, the percussion, the drums. There's a lot of rhythmic elements that are carrying this track. And it almost feels, and this is my subjective perception, it almost feels a little chaotic, intentionally, right? Not chaotic in the sense of they don't know what they're doing. We know Led Zeppelin knows what they're doing. But in the sense of it feels chaotic. The chord progression, that riff, doom, 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 doom. It sounds like there's an element of suspense. The scream, that intense scream, that classic 70s, 80s rock, high-pitched rock voice is so legendary, but it's fitting here to this feeling of, oh, baby, 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 right? It's psychologically, these songs convey more than just, it's art to me because it conveys more than just, hey, I have a nice voice, we play instruments, let's just put together a song and sing about something. There's this feeling that he's feeling what he's singing. They're feeling with the instrumentation what they are singing about. And here I feel a turmoil. I feel, ugh, right? When you're working through something, and I don't know what the song is exactly about. So far, I'm hearing this, rivers have turned red, which makes me think of the Moses and the Exodus out of Egypt and Pharaoh. It makes me think of blood, right? When the water turns bloody because there is some crime happened, something violent happened. It sounds to me like there's some type of relational distress. But it's fascinating how all that can be conveyed within seconds through instruments, through the tone of voice. Robert was doing something here that I haven't heard him do yet before. There was something to the timbre of his voice this time, that vibrato in the end of those final notes. It's crazy how much emotion he can convey with his singing. In addition to how high he can sing with how much force, his great vocal range, which we know, there's something about that grit and that wailing that is so fitting and full of so much emotion. I mean, my goodness, to be able to sing and communicate like that, even when you're not singing words other than ooh and ah at the end. So it looks like the song Four Sticks, the title of the song, reflects John Bonham's performance with 2 sets of drumsticks, totaling 4. Guys, John Bonham's a beast. It is amazing to me how they play together so well. Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones. This was very painful, but not in the sense of to listen to, but in the sense of if there were to be a song that conveys distress, a breakup, this would be it. It's beyond just, oh, sorry, honey, we're going to have a sit down. We're not going to work out. The rivers are red and I'm going to have to leave and it's me, not you. You know what I mean? You see this type of stuff in movies, and depending on your generation, I suppose, we see things reflected in movies, things reflected in the magazines, things reflected on the surface that would feel like it doesn't hurt as much as it does. But when you really care about someone, when you're in a relationship with someone, and there's some type of distress, marriage, relationship, friendship, and you come to a point where you have to find a way to get away from someone, it goes beyond, I'm out, right? We live in a day and age now where in the dating world, there's such a mess that it would feel like it doesn't mean anything. And to some, it might not. But I would also argue that's because it never did to begin with. When you actually care, when you actually put work into a relationship, and you have cards on the table, there's an element of turmoil that's involved. And I feel this in this song. It says, baby, it's crying time. I got to fly. Got to find a way, get away from you. The rivers are red, baby, in my head. There's a funny feeling going on. Is this him saying something's not right here? The rivers have turned red. There's blood in the water. I have got to get away. You are harmful to me. Or is this him saying, it's time for you to cry, right? It's crying time. Or for both of them, I got to fly. I got to find a way. Crazy, babe. The rainbows end. Craze, baby. The rainbows end. Baby, it's just a den. Okay, so the rainbow, this wonderful honeymoon phase, this rainbow, it has ended. It's a den. So at the end of the rainbow, we didn't find a pot of gold. We found a den, perhaps, for those who hide their love to depths of life. Very poetic, very interesting to speak of, because in relationship, you could hope for at the end of that rainbow, when everything is said and done and the rosa-rote Brille, the rosé red glasses come off, that there is a pot of gold, hopefully, or another rainbow, right? That's what we wish for. But oftentimes in life, you find a den, and this den could be a place that some people hide their love in, right? Sometimes hiding their love in the sense of holding it back, hiding it, not willing to open their heart completely, or hiding it to the depths of life, right? Hiding, keeping away your heart from the deep parts of life, the deep part of what this relationship could be. Or, it could be interpreted different ways. Ruined dreams that we all knew. So this poetic, beautiful way of putting that this type of hiding, this den that people used to hide in and the depths of their life, it often ends those dreams that we all are familiar with. We all have that longing to be loved and known. I think even for people who are fine on their own, who enjoy their singleness and their aloneness, there's still a desire not to be lonely, right? That's why we learn to be alone. That's why we have to learn to love ourselves, because that is the ultimate pain, is to be completely alone, even of yourself, right? If you can't even be with yourself, who are you? How are we existing if we can't even love ourselves? And so, of course, for many people, that goes even further. They don't even know who they are apart from another person. They crave that relational element. And there's validity to that. We are relational creations, relational beings. But even still, when you are fine with being alone, there is a need to at least love yourself, to at least be okay with yourself. Otherwise, you are at the epitome of loneliness, absolutely alone, because you can't even be with yourself in peace. And so I think that is a dream we can all relate to, a desire to be known, not to be hidden from, not to hide, to actually exist in ourselves and in the mind of another. When the owls cry in the night, baby, when the pines begin to cry, okay, we're painting a very eerie picture here of darkness, of the nighttime, the time that a lot of people often don't want to be alone. They want to be with their beloved. To now speaking of pines crying, owls crying, there's this wailing, which is fitting to the musical composition. How do you feel if the river runs dry? How does that feel? They have run red. Now they're running dry. There's nothing left. Not only did the water turn red, not only do we have blood, there is some type of hurt, death, the hurt going on. Now they're dry. There's nothing left. How do you feel? How does it make another person feel to experience that? Brave I endure, strong shields and lore. That to me is a very fitting little thread, in my opinion, to word things that way. Shields and lore to the Battle of Evermore, to the Misty Mountain Hop. I feel like that type of poetic language is a beautiful tie, yet still being a very different song. And I find that brilliant. They can't hold the wrath of those who walk, and the boots of those who march, baby, through the roads of time so long ago. Strong shields and lore can't hold the wrath of those who walk, the boots of those who march through the roads of time so long ago. Is this perhaps saying it doesn't matter how strong that lore is, how strong your shields are, they don't hold the wrath of those who have walked on those roads so long ago? That wrath of perhaps people that were hurt in the past, because people have experienced heartbreak and pain for generations, right? That wrath, that anger, that bitterness, the hurt that people experience long ago and in the past, even to this day, their wrath can't be held, can't be contained by the strongest of shields. It doesn't matter how strong you are. It doesn't matter how alluring. It doesn't matter how majestic things are. It doesn't compare to the pain and the wrath that heartache brings. Is that a possible interpretation? Through the roads of time so long ago. And then he goes into this wailing, ooh, ah, and that's what it ends with. That's as fitting too. There's no conclusion. There's just wailing. And I think that beautifully, powerfully puts in words what heartache means. There's no happy ending. We want to look for hope. We want to look for a conclusion. We need closure. We hope for some type of, well, it wasn't meant to be, or let's have a closing conversation and hopefully we both agree and find peace. But quite frankly, in life, beyond even just romantic breakups, by the way, I don't want to make it just about relationships. Beyond any journey in life, even with ourselves, with loving ourselves, with figuring out our existence, with our march towards death, there is a wailing, there is a grief, there is I want to get away. So this could be beyond, I want to get away from a loved one, a person that is no longer good for me, or so. This could speak of suffering. I want to get away from suffering in life. I want to escape this pain. I want to escape death. I want to escape these existential fears and my questions about faith. I don't know. There's so many ways to put this. This love relationship, this oh baby, could be anything. It could be anyone that we're trying to escape from. And then ending with that wailing. These guys are just flipping good. Sheesh. All right, what's next? We're going to listen to Going to California next. Ooh, we got about 2 more songs. Wow. Are you ready? Subscribe, click the bell, and I'll see you on the next ride. Ayo!